Going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Willie Does Wrestling back at it again with a brand new stream and a brand new video. And ladies and gentlemen, with me again, as always, to my right, it is the number one MJF stan and the number one Twitter Shorts champion, uh, Dylan of the Last Week in Wrestling podcast. And underneath me, it is the ever so passionate Wolf Ferris. Boys, how you doing?
Good. Feeling good.
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. The Monday Night Raw watch along was a success. I want to thank everybody for tuning into that and everyone who supported the shorts as well.
Yes.
And everyone who liked my new Twitter profile picture with look at this face. But
That's great.
we are here with another edition of the Unscripted podcast. And it's been
We're
a
late.
wild
We're already
couple
getting
of
told
days.
we're late. I love it. The chat's already starting off strong.
Yep.
I have been waiting. You're late. They've been keeping track. Hey, I was being a tech support system.
Yeah, he was
All right.
partially working at Best Buy for the past 20 minutes.
Yeah,
as a Geek Squad.
I was working at Best Buy, aka Google searching ways to fix someone's phone. But yeah, no, we were an hour late or a half hour late. We apologize. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here with another episode of the Unscripted podcast. And it's been a wild couple of days. Of course, you got Backlash, some returns as well, which we'll get to later, and a whole last tournament that started last night. But first, boys, I want to talk to you about probably Dylan's favorite show of the year, Double or Nothing.
That's greatest. This is my WrestleMania. This is my WrestleMania.
Really?
No, I mean, it's always nice to have an AEW pay-per-view. Revolution was absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. The only real slow-itch match was that Wardlow Samoa Joe match.
That was Revolution.
Yeah, that was Revolution.
Yeah, that was Revolution.
Yeah. It is what it is. But I feel like Double or Nothing's really going to prove something to us fans alike, or at least I think alike, in the sense of that, Tony knows what the fuck is going on. I feel like what we've been getting since Revolution has been leading up to now about 3 weeks away, now 2 weeks really away till Double or Nothing. We have a lot of potential big matches. I know the biggest one, or at least one that's definitely confirmed as of now, is that Four Pillars match. But as we talk about our predictions and stuff like that, I'm excited to see Cole and Jericho. I'm excited to see hopefully Keith and Swerve. Maybe BCC and the Elite. I'm excited to see Kenny tomorrow night with Moxley. I feel like that match is kind of going to also determine what's going to be happening potentially for the Double or Nothing match. So there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's definitely that Dynamite.
And it's not just MJF, okay? Everyone's getting hating on me because it's all I talk about. But listen, when you got a king like MJF,
that's why I put MJF on the thumbnail.
Yeah, you gotta honor him. You gotta honor him.
MJF equals views, anyways. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, especially tomorrow's Dynamite. It's definitely sick. I mean,
tomorrow's Dynamite is crazy.
Fire.
We got Garcia and OC for the international title. We have Julia Hart versus Anna Jay. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Anna Jay, yes, and a no holds barred match.
No holds barred as well. We got Mox and Kenny as well.
We got
Claudio and Phoenix.
Claudio and Phoenix double Jeopardy
title.
Yes,
which is going to
Ray
be very
Phoenix and Claudio. We hear FTR's response to Jarrett and Lethal's challenge. We have a trios title match. House of Black fights Bandito and Best Friends.
Yep.
We will hear from Christian Cage.
Yeah, which I'm a little. I was just on. I don't know if you guys noticed it on Twitter today. The AEW blog was doing a space talk space or space talk or whatever they call it, and I was on it. Thank you. And I was on it, and I mentioned the fact of Christian Cage and the TNT title, and maybe the significance if he does win and stuff like that. And one of the guys, I believe his name is Air, but at least the username is the name Air, and he was saying that he's very worried about Christian talking about Wardlow's unfortunate father's passing. Tomorrow night at Dynamite, and I said, "Yeah, me too," because Christian is that type of guy, and he will do some wild, dirty
I
little
also
shit.
saw a tweet that like was worried about that, but they were also worried about something else, and that was not for Wardlow, but rather Anderson, because I think recently his
His son
son
passed.
passed away.
Yep.
So they were worried that like, nah, Christian better not talk about Anderson's son.
Christian better not talk about Glock Anderson's
I'm-
I
son,
tell you
man.
now,
I'm
that
gonna
will
be
be
like,
a
yeah,
clip that will
he's
go viral.
definitely talking about.
He'll pull out the Glock for talking
Yeah,
about
for
his
real
son.
this time.
My man would not be too happy about that. But
Yeah,
double or
I
nothing, boys, is going to be absolutely sick. Obviously, we'll give our card predictions and how the finishes to the matches are, even though it seems pretty obvious what like 99.9% of the matches for Dynamite's card
yeah
is. However, we could get swerved. I'll
yeah
bet you a lot of the matches could have a bit of a twist to it. Like we could predict a match and then there's a stipulation on top of it, or you know, like I got swerved with Bad Bunny at Backlash because I thought it was going to be a tag match when I did my 2K simulation, and it ended up being a one-on-one street fight, and I was so fucking mad. But
yeah
then I ended up getting proved wrong in the actual match. But this is about Double or Nothing. We're going to talk about that first. Obviously, the first match that's really confirmed so far, the only match I think is confirmed for Double or Nothing, of course, is the Four Pillars Fatal Four Way. And Dylan, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think comes out with the dub?
I mean, MJF, we don't even have to talk about it much longer. He's the man, he's the king, he is who he is. No, I honestly, of course, I would love to see MJF retain. There was one guy on that talk space thing that I was talking to who goes that I can't remember the guy's username. I apologize, but he was stating that they could throw a twist where there's a possibility he loses at Double or Nothing, but then becomes a multi-time AEW champion down the road, maybe at a All In and All Out, a Full Gear,
That'd be
which
sick.
is something that of course, as an MJF fan, no. I want him to retain. I want him a full year. I don't want none of this bullshit, none of this malarkey that people are spewing around. But listen, give the fans what they want as well. They want to see him at the same time earn it back the way he earned it the first time. They want to see him possibly be a multi-time champion, of course, with his possibility of the bidding war of 2024 that we always talk about when talking about MJF. It is something that we do have to talk about, honestly. But I'm cool if Darby won. I am cool if Jungle Boy won. Yeah, I might be upset. I might throw my crab cakes. I might cry. I might be very upset with wrestling for like a week and everything. But otherwise, as I get over that as a grown up, I will understand that this was probably the best choice at the time. Or, of course, they want to see their up and coming stars, their homegrown talent get that shining light that MJF is willing to be put over or put over other great talented superstars like a Darby or a Jungle Boy. No, I'm not mentioning Sammy. I know I should, but I shouldn't at the same time because he's been TNT champ like 2 or 3 times, and he's been great with that. But I truthfully I don't think he's ready yet for that AEW spot as champion. Maybe in a year or two, maybe after a feud with Jungle Boy or Darby Allin alone, single wise, maybe more single matches breaking away from the JAS society and everything, starting to be on his own. Because he is a talented man. I can't say he's not. I can't say that he's just an egotistical maniac that wants to Jeff Hardy himself off
He's a
of
bitch.
helicopters and skyscrapers and all this crazy stuff. So, at the same time, I'm just like, look, I think in due time, Sammy will eventually be champion, whether we all want it to happen or not. But Darby, Jungle Boy, for sure are champions in the making. But of course, like wrestling fan, like JoJo, like all my other MJF stands alike, we want our king to retain. So hopefully and God willingly, on the 28th for my birthday present would be great if MJF retained. That
Uh,
AEW belt.
I do have some news I just found out. This was posted like 2 hours ago from the person I found it from. Uh, do either of you people know who Speedball Mike Bailey is?
No.
Who?
All right,
Nope.
I don't know if he's like an indie wrestler. I don't know,
Mike
but
Bailey.
he is fighting Mr. Roderick Strong on July 1st.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
apparently
it's on
there's
Fight
no.
TV, I believe.
Oh, my friend even. Yeah.
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 And
Pretty.
also
Apparently a
Jackson
dream match.
Riker. Jackson Riker, who used to be in WWE, part of the Forgotten Sons faction,
Mm,
is apparently retiring from pro wrestling.
Godspeed.
Yeah, I think he teamed up with Buddy.
He teamed up with Buddy's old tag team partner Wesley Blake and
Oh,
Steve
okay.
Cutler. He's
Okay.
not really remembered, but I remember he got in shit back in 2020 for like tweeting about Donald Trump when the Black Lives Matter movement was
Yeah.
going on, and
Nice.
Um.
he got released.
So regarding Double or Nothing, I'm like trying to like understand. I'm looking at like all the past Double or Nothings, like trying to see like how many matches would we like expect, because I would say at
Someone
least
said 10.
nine.
I'd
At
say
least
10.
nine. Because 2019, 2020 were both nine. Um, what's it called? Was there anything extra? Yes. 2019 was Casino Battle Royal. 2021 was also Casino Battle Royal. Uh, so is there any potential for
10. Yeah.
the Casino Battle Royal to happen this year?
I wouldn't be surprised if it does. It's been a tradition.
Yeah, it's a tradition.
Like every other year, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure it happened at
Do we
All
need it?
Out. Yeah, it happened All Out at when MJF came back.
Do we need it?
I think
Do
it's
we
that was a
need it? I
casino
don't
ladder
know.
match. Oh, I
Do we
don't know.
need it, or could we just be okay with it being put on the
Because it was an
Dynamite before
All
Double or
Out
Nothing?
2022, I think.
Yeah, because the face of the Revolution was the Dynamite before
Yeah,
Revolution,
yeah.
so maybe it might not happen at the pay per view.
Okay.
I don't think it will.
I
But who do
wouldn't
you
be
think
surprised.
wins the Four Pillars 4-way?
Four pillar four way. Okay.
There's only one right answer, Wolf.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm going to root for Darby.
Wow. Traitor.
Uh,
Traitor.
but most likely it's gonna be MJF
The
retaining.
King.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, very likely it will be MJF.
I would be shocked. I would truly be shocked if they don't let him keep it. I truly would be.
Yeah, because
And
I think MJF versus Adam Cole at All In would
yeah.
be amazing for a world title match in like 70,000 plus stadium.
yeah.
So I don't know, like, because can Darby defend a world title in a show like that? I don't freaking know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So like I would. So
You don't think he could?
I don't think
You don't
he.
think Darby Allin and Adam Cole could go one on
I don't
one?
think he'd have the
oh, they
star
could.
power to want to like for Tony Khan to want to have him defend on like their WrestleMania. Pretty much.
I mean they Darby and Adam could fight, but the thing is, Adam kind of just turned face. Um. So unless for some reason Darby goes heel, which I doubt,
I
Um,
don't see that happening.
yeah, I don't see that happening. Adam, there's no reason for Adam to turn heel again. So no, yeah, not for All In. So yeah, that's why I expect MJF to retain. Even if I'm gonna be cheering for Darby. I wouldn't be surprised if at All In, maybe MJF drops it to Adam Cole. Um, but I don't know. So I'm gonna say most likely MJF
All
retains.
right,
That's
so I
two for the
guess we're
king.
all unanimously MJF.
I will
TNT
don't care for
Championship.
it.
I think it will be Christian Cage versus Wardlow.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
I
Me
want
too.
that. I want it for a lot of different reasons, though. I want to hear everyone else's reasons first, but I want it. I feel like we're all going to kind of say the same thing, but I'll speak last on this because I do have something to say with that with this
Um.
Think would
title match.
win.
Well, I definitely, I honestly like I'll sum it up quick, but I definitely think Christian should win this.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Christian
think
should win
that
it.
you know where we're at now with all of these belts and now the third show coming, cancellation of Evolution, Elevation, and Dark, and Rampage only being an hour. I was saying it before, like we now have the WWE kind of TV setup where it's Monday Night Raw, NXT, then Friday Night SmackDown. It's Dynamite, it's Rampage, it's Collision. So we're starting off the week for AEW fans on Wednesday, kind of like Monday for Raw. Then we go Tuesday for NXT. It's right after. We get one little day of breather, which is technically Ring of Honor. Then after that, we go into their developmental Rampage. And then closing out the week would be Collision, where whoever we didn't see, of course, on Dynamite, as well as the Fragile Phil show, we
Yeah.
get to see on Saturday to end off our week. To me, it's like with because there's conversation of do we need an extra belt now? Is there a need for that? If so, do we have one representing Collision and one representing Dynamite? And if so, is
Like we need another world title
right. And
for
then it's like
AEW. It's
we
like
do, but we don't because MJF at the moment is hopefully for eternity is the AEW Dynamite champion. Uh, come Collision, Fragile Phil is going to be, crying if he doesn't have some type of gold, and we can't just give him like a gold chain or anything because he won't settle for that. Otherwise, he'll go on another press conference and ruin it.
Um.
To me, like we'll eventually get another title belt, but for the point being, with the TNT one we have, and of course the TBS and all the other ones we need some type of significance to start happening to these three non so significant belts that we do see on a weekly basis. Like when Pac was wrestling as the All Atlantic, he did go across seas to wrestle and defend that belt in other promotions. We do not see that with Orange Cassidy, which we should, especially if we're calling it the international, championship belt with, the TBS one. Not for nothing, Jade's proven clearly whether she's 175-0 at this stage of the game, that she deserves an AEW women's title opportunity going forward. But then it has to bring significance to the TBS one, that interim, women's belt, maybe for up and coming stars or stars that are in the making of becoming actual contenders for the AEW women's belt. And then the TNT can kind of be that interim, that United States or intercontinental for people of, more or less United States for, in the men's division for up and coming stars going for the AEW belt. If Christian were to win this, this kind of brings maybe some significance back to the belts meeting. And with that, I feel like we could have a longevity with Christian holding the belt and not like so gracefully Willie's put it, the hot potato belt that we do call it now.
Yeah,
And it has a lot more of excitement to it. You know, Christian with
definitely.
Luchasaurus now. Now, maybe if he can't defend it, he drops it to Luchasaurus, and Luchasaurus defends it until Christian can. And, you know, they're kind of playing hot potato with it, but not to the extent of Wardlow's champion this week, then QT, then it's Hobbs, then it's back to QT, then it's Darby, then it's Sammy, then it's back to Darby, then it's Samoa. That, you know what I mean? Like, we don't need that swap so quickly anymore. You know, like, we know who our top athletes are. We know who are people we are seeing on a day-to-day basis that are championship material. Eddie Kingston, Samoa Joe, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy. I mean, look where they're going right now. Double or Nothing, Four Pillars. Like, I think that speaks for itself. So at this stage of the game, I feel like we need to have this championship title start mattering to these up and coming superstars that would like to face the next AEW champion, whoever that may be. Of course, after 2024, if MJF is not going to be with us anymore, but not till
Yeah.
so.
But no, definitely. I'm gonna sub quick. Christian winning the TNT title, like that would be his last title run before he
Right,
like ultimately hangs up the boots.
right.
And for Christian, especially with his heel-ish character and the way he's like killing it, he could face a lot of big baby faces for that belt. We got a lot of good baby faces in AEW. Ricky Starks, Darby, and Jungle Boy. If either one of them don't win the belt, you could also run it back with Jungle Boy this time for the belt. Or if you ultimately want to turn Luchasaurus face and have him beat Christian or whatever, you can do that. Christian being TNT champion is way more safer than him being AEW world champion.
Right.
Yeah.
And having that legend be the mid card champion, so that way you can have a lot of mid card baby faces go and face Christian for that belt and put on some bangers before Christian's not here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That, like you said, Dylan, can add significance back to the TNT Championship, because recently with guys like Samoa Joe, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, the belt hasn't been that prestigious. I mean, Jesus Christ, we've had Wardlow in like squash matches every week. Like, how
Yeah,
does that
facing
make sense?
security.
So yeah, no, I'm go if we do get Wardlow and Christian 1-on-1, I'm gonna say Christian.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you keep it on Wardlow longer than we would like.
Yeah,
Let him
if
run.
he's
Let
facing
him run
Luchasaurus, if he's
through
facing
all in.
Luchasaurus at Double or Nothing, then Wardlow retains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let him go through all in. Let him go through all out. Maybe lose it at you know,
Full Gear.
thank you, Full Gear. Let him lose it at all out even. We have Forbidden Door still coming up before all in. So,
True.
you know, there's so much more we could do with this. You know, I just don't understand why we don't, you know, but I'm not Tony Khan. You know, I'd like to be. I'd like to have his money at least. You know,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about credit card debt anymore. But you know, like you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, it'd be great. But you know, we're not. We're just three great guys over here doing our thing, and you know, that's really it. So hopefully it changes. Hopefully it changes.
Wolf, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, well, you kind of said it. If it's Wardlow versus Luchasaurus, it's gonna be Wardlow. If it's Christian fighting uh
Wardlow.
Wardlow, then Christian takes it. I wouldn't be surprised if what's it called, Luchasaurus ends up turning on Christian. Maybe not at Double or Nothing, but eventually maybe it's like Christian can win the title, uses Luchasaurus to take out threats, and then
Right.
beat them also for the title, and then have a lengthy reign. Luchasaurus can turn on him, and then Luchasaurus versus Christian Cage. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That depends.
All right. Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho. Who would we have?
Adam.
Baby.
Adam. That would
Adam.
help. That would help him get a shot at the
At the
world
world title.
title
Yeah.
Yeah.
at All In. Definitely, I think we can
Yeah.
all agree on that. A big
I
win
will
over Jericho.
also predict, probably wishful thinking, but I'm gonna say, Jericho tries to use JAS to like get involved.
Of course.
Roddy and returning Kyle O'Reilly comes save Adam, and then
Yeah,
Adam,
we get an undisputed elite and JAS kind of feud again.
Nice little
yes.
moment.
Yeah, I would love to see that, and hopefully someday we get the undisputed elite as trios champions. I think that would
For sure.
definitely be like my favorite. Let's. What about? Here's another match that I think: Jay White versus Ricky Starks.
Yes.
Mhm.
Jay White.
Jay White. It would be a good pay-per-view debut for him. Ricky can take the L.
Yeah.
Solidify Bullet Club gold, especially leading into Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
So yeah,
As
Yeah.
much as I would love to see Ricky win, it's
I love
Jay White.
Ricky, but I also love how Jay White looks. I think Jay White needs a strong start.
Huge.
definitely.
So Ricky definitely, and like Ricky kind of like is already established. Like Ricky already has like good victories, like Revolution. He beat Jericho. That's an amazing win.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if they want to put Ricky as like main event talent, then I don't know. Maybe Ricky can get that huge win, but
I can see them having Jay White, close to the AEW World Title picture, leading into Forbidden Door. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know. I don't know if Jay should like.
I think it would be a little too quick for him,
Yeah,
but
it'll be too quick. I think. If anything, I would want to see like Jay like go for either tag belts with Juice or um international title against OC. That could.
that wouldn't be too bad.
But no, yeah. As much as I love Ricky, um, yeah, I think Ricky can take this L.
Yeah.
If they want to extend the feud, that could also work. But
Here's one that I know that we could probably get split on: the Acclaimed versus the House of Black Trios Championship.
House of Black.
House always wins.
You're going House always wins.
House
Yeah,
always wins.
I'm
How
going
long do we really need Daddy Ass to wrestle as a trios champion? That's the question.
not a lot.
That's really the question. How long do you guys would like to see Daddy Ass with gold?
Doesn't need it.
At least a few weeks to a month.
Is it worth the House of what they have done to lose to the Acclaimed for a possible month reign?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say the Acclaimed
needs the titles more. I think they need to like solidify themselves as like threats.
Yeah, because I was going to say the Acclaimed wins, but then they just started the house rules thing with the 20 counts and all that. I think they're gonna want to do more of those house rules matches and like hype that up, get some wins, especially starting with Bandito and Best Friends. So I say
which Bandito and Best Friends will title match will also be under open house
rules.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe a couple more months of House of Black with the gold, and then
that's fine.
So like the thing is, I also think House like needs to like establish themselves as like dominant threats, because that was the problem with them like before or their like small hiatus. more specifically Malachi and Buddy. Um, the problem was that at first House of Black was not booked good
Oh yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Like they were losing consistently, and I'm like, I was actually so upset because I was like, come on, man, this is supposed to be a scary like faction that like dominates, and you're having them lose against like everyone.
Yeah,
Um,
no, yeah, definitely House so overacclaimed. Yeah,
and
Billy Gunn. I don't know, man.
and like they also need to be established as champions because like Buddy might challenge OC again. Um, Malachi could ultimately become a world title contender.
I want Buddy to dethrone OC.
Yeah, me too. Um, that and I wouldn't be surprised if what's it called? Julia ultimately becomes women's champion contender after this no holds barred match.
Ooh, that's a good segue.
Yeah.
What do you guys think the women's world title match would be? Who would face Hater, or would it be a 6-woman tag?
Um, if it's a title match, it would be Hater versus Soho probably because
Hater
we
versus
had
Soho.
Storm fighter. Soraya should be at All In.
Yeah, Soraya should definitely be at All In because it's London. Yeah,
So
I can
that's
agree with you.
assuming it's a title match. I don't see it. I think it's gonna be Hater, Baker, and
Yeah, I think
Sheeta
it's
Sheeta.
6 woman as
versus
well. I
the
think
outcast.
Hater is a bigger draw for All In with Soraya than them
Yeah,
having her do a defense at Double or Nothing, then do another defense or do a 6 woman tag at All In. Like,
Yeah,
come
no.
on, they want Soraya, they want Hater to go 1-on-1.
definitely. So if it's a 6-woman tag, I'm going to favor it being um the baby faces. I
Yep.
think they'll have them win, and then you can have Soraya dethrone Hater at All In for the huge pop, even though
Yeah,
Soraya would be a heel. I think Soraya dethrones Baker.
Really?
I do
Mm,
too. It's you know what though, even as a
I don't like
heel,
it.
that 70,000 people are gonna lose their mind,
Because
good
this
and
is a
bad.
woman that wasn't supposed to wrestle again. Like, let's
And
be
she's in her
real.
True.
hometown. It's a huge thing.
I
Huge
mean I'm
deal.
like not sure because like ever since Soraya came back, people have been despising her. Not just heel despise. It's like
Well, they're banana head.
Ronda hate. Um, it's like I'm so and it's triggering me. I'm sorry, but like and I guess I'm biased towards House, but I don't want Soraya to win because I want Julia to be
Do you want Julia? Yeah, that's bias there, buddy. I don't think they'll book
yeah,
her
that's
that
biased.
high. um,
Uh,
I,
yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna go kind of opposite, I'm gonna go in a 6-woman tag, a double or nothing, outcasts win.
ooh,
Um, most likely by cheating.
oh yeah, definitely.
I could see that.
And then all in Hater beats Soraya.
I would love for Sarai to win.
So
I ain't gonna
Hater's
lie to
run
you.
hasn't been the best. Like, it's just like, hi, I'm Britt Baker's sidekick, but I'm the champ for some fucking
I
reason.
mean, if anything, I think Hater has
What a great summary,
overshadowed
Will.
Baker. In my opinion, I think Hater has like no question overshadowed Baker.
I still think she's in Baker's shadow. I, I
I mean,
I
like,
still think that,
I mean,
even though
she
she's the
kind
champ.
of is like Baker's like there, but like, in my opinion, like, it's kind of hard to argue that like,
Yeah.
it's very clear Hater's the like better one than Baker.
Yeah.
But that's because like Baker hasn't like done anything. She's only gotten like the storylines of like Adam and
Yeah, it's
Outcast.
just like, hi, we have a reality show, All Access after Dynamite. Go watch.
Actually, here's what I'm gonna say. This is gonna be bold.
Oh, really?
That's
Outcasts
you,
win,
Wolf. You're a bold man.
Outcasts win at Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Most likely by cheating. Hater wins at All In. Baker turns heel on
No, that's
Hater
not bold at all. That's actually a good prediction.
after All In. Yeah. After she beats Soraya, Baker turns on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends,
Or
really.
Baker takes it from Soraya at All Out.
Yeah. Let's say,
Like
let's
if
say
All In
Baker does
happens
like
between the two of them,
Baker
Hater
does like a, I'll do it
loses.
myself.
What?
Baker being like, fine, I'll do it myself after
Exactly.
Saraya dethrones, because it will be a week difference. So
Yeah. If Hater loses to Soraya, Baker's gonna get mad
Baker's
because now that's 2 losses. That's
No.
Double or Nothing, and that's 1-on-1.
Yeah.
okay.
And for a championship. So really that's 3.
Yeah.
Then she turns on Hater and goes like Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself. Puts on the Infinity Glove and takes out Soraya and All Out. And that's it.
Soraya only
alrighty.
has a fucking 7-day reign. No,
only needed a pop for All In.
only need the pop. Screw you. What's FTR versus Jarrett and Lethal?
FTR. Easily.
FTR.
Can I be honest? I don't even care for this one.
Alright. Who ends up challenging FTR next?
Next? That's a good one. Ooh, I don't know who. Hardy Boys.
I mean, it's obvious, right?
I can see them giving it to Hardy Boy. They were supposed to win last year, and then Jeff had to
Bro.
go fuck it up.
Had to go fuck around and find out.
See, the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Yeah.
Here's a graph.
That makes sense, honestly. I mean,
And then it gives like the
or
Hardys a bit of
actually,
redemption.
they could also give it to Juice and Jay, maybe.
I
yet.
say Juice and Jay beat the Hardys.
Okay.
That's
Here.
the team to beat the
That
Hardys.
also works.
Okay, what else would we have on the card?
I want to see Swerve versus Keith. The story hasn't ended yet.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'm giving it to Swerve. Have him built up that big against the albino man, Keith Lee.
I could also
Mr.
see
Graybeard.
a tag match of Keith and Dustin versus Swerve and Cage, Brian Cage.
Boudreaux. Oh yeah, and Brian Cage. I forgot that was in that fucking group.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what else would be on this.
yeah, Swerve,
card.
I guess. Yeah.
I could see Jade versus Taya. Again.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's ran through the whole women's division. So
well, the last time they faced each other, it was that whole, oh no, Taya, don't do that move. So now they'll probably like do it where Taya will be able to do the move again. Yeah. But I would still say Jade because I think they're waiting until they get their hands on Mercedes or Trinity to have them dethrone Jade.
I would. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I'd rather see
unless they like
bring
back Statlander like soon,
or if Thunder Rosa,
yeah. Who else? I know there's
Tony Khan versus Vince McMahon.
Oh,
this is fantasy booking. Let's get it going. Triple H is the ref. Who do we got?
I would interfere to let Tony Khan beat Vince McMahon.
Okay, Wolf.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony for me too.
Man probably has no wrestling experience at all, but
Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Triple H just pedigrees him. He's like, "Fuck my heart condition, my
yeah,
company now."
Pedigrees Tony, pedigrees Vince McMahon,
I will die for
and
this
tells him,
company.
"You're out."
Nah, he probably
Vince, Tony.
Okay, Tony, Vince.
Who's saying
Oh,
Vince? What you want fucking Mr. Gomez from the Adams family to fucking
all
put him?
right.
Get out of
Yeah.
here with that shit.
Now we move on to because I think we pretty much ran through Double or Nothing, right?
Hold on, I'm looking. Who else?
Who else would we have?
Casino
Elite versus
Royale.
CC.
Oh, the Elite versus
Oh yeah,
BCC.
the
We
Elite
forgot the
versus
best part.
BTC.
We forgot the best one. Yes.
We got the best one. So,
BCC.
if we're including fighting with the Elite, it's the Elite. Though if it's without Hangman, I'm going BCC.
I say BCC and Takeshita turns.
Yeah, I'm saying this is without Hangman and Takeshita's with the Elite. And then and then I'll have BCC win. And then Takeshita joins BCC. Because remember, Takeshita bled. And John Moxley says, in order to stand with us, you got to bleed.
And he loves his Bryan Danielson.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Another match I could potentially see like as an alternative is potentially Kenny versus Danielson, but in the event
I feel like
of
I'm in Hogwarts with this scarf.
Elite versus BCC, what I believe would happen would be Elite versus BCC, Elite win, and then like the snake that he is, Callus
Nice.
comes in and shows Kenny the full gear footage. Kenny turns, beating the shit out of Hangman.
Okay. But it's like Hangman's trying to redeem himself, but really it's just like a fuck you kind of deal. Like
Or
Kenny won.
maybe Kenny, what's it called, turns on the Bucks. I don't know.
No. All right. Well, next topic of the podcast, of course, the big talks that every fucking dirt sheet and their grandma has been talking about is one Scottish warrior, Drew McIntyre. Apparently, he's not happy. Apparently, he's finishing up his deal. He's not happy about the creative, apparently. Do you guys think, and I want the chat to answer this as well, do you guys Drew is leaving, or do you think this is all just complete blown out of proportion?
I'll be the last to speak on that.
Thing is,
Wolf.
I saw like a article about like best GM ever talking about this, and he said something that I kind of understand and I kind of am starting to agree with. It doesn't seem like WWE actually has plans to like put a world title on McIntyre. So I would say apparently his contract's also ending in like early 2024, so
Maybe he's trying to get
unless
out.
something changes like suddenly, I will say Drew does leave WWE.
Oh.
And like I feel like the only way they can keep Drew is if they put a title on him in front of a crowd ASAP.
Yep.
I think, well, I keep seeing on like WWE social medias, it seems like they're really pushing, like I see a lot of Drew McIntyre content on there. Like I think I saw one where it was like a compilation on all his best claymores or whatever the fuck. But or it's like Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre is coming or something.
Yeah,
So if his deal is ending at 2024 and they probably waited out until the end of his deal, I say you bring him back as a heel and give him a short reign as a world title. So that way, before he leaves, he wins a world title with the crowd and he rides off into the sunset, whether that's fucking AEW, whether that's Impact, or he just fucks off. He'll have the world title on him.
I'm gonna
the
just
thing
fuck
is,
off
like,
now.
WWE needs to realize they are in a bad situation right now because Drew is not doing anything really. He's kind of losing. Like he's got like big moments, but like he fought at WrestleMania. He fought against Roman at Clash at the Castle. The problem is his big moment, Clash at the Castle. He was screwed over.
He was
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, he lost. He ate the pin. In fact,
he ate the pin against Gunther.
Now, if they plan to put the IC title on him, maybe against Gunther 1-on-1, I don't know. I don't see it.
They probably won't put the IC title on him. I could see
Yeah,
them
and
giving
the
it
thing
to
is,
like.
Drew, I'm certain Drew does not care for the IC title that much. He's already been an Intercontinental Champion.
I think he only cares. I think he said in like multiple interviews, he's like, the one thing I left is to win the world title in front of a crowd because I was robbed of that in 2020.
Yep, he was robbed of that in 2020. He was robbed of that at Clash at the Castle.
I can understand why he's pissed though.
Yeah, like this is literally the only thing left. And it's not like Drew McIntyre is literally like has now built himself up to, in my opinion, be like a guaranteed future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
What's it called? Drew and the incredible matches he's had with Sheamus, the incredible matches he could put on with Gunther, with McDonough, with others.
Yeah, that's why we always assume we don't work in WWE. As much as people want to claim that they do.
I wish we did.
Do not
Me too.
That'd be nice.
Like the thing is, we're going off the assumption that they don't have plans for Drew, like big plans for Drew. If they don't have big plans for Drew, Drew should leave.
Because right now, Drew McIntyre, and I know there's going to be like, Willie, I don't give a fuck. He's really just a big Scotsman with a sword. That's all I'm viewing him as. Hey, I have Angela. I'm going to lose.
The thing is, there's also another thing that Nick Khan, Triple H, Vince even need to realize. If they don't make something big for Drew and they don't change the situation, if Tony gets Drew,
oh fuck, he's gonna push him to the moon.
Drew is guaranteed to be world champion.
I would say that, or he's guaranteed a champion.
Yeah, like
so
he's going to be put into the main event scene immediately.
Hey, I got 2 L's in my name, Sean. A double L doesn't matter to me.
So I'm going based
on.
So a
Willie.
Situation does not change. There's no chance of it like changing. If something changes, then what's it called? Drew will probably stay. If things get better for Drew, he'll stay. If nothing,
if he at least has a creative direction, like he's back to the Scottish psychopath as a heel.
Yeah.
I can definitely see him staying. Yeah. Even if he doesn't get a belt. I think if they turn him heel and they're like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna have a program with such and such, you're gonna fight.
They could also lie to him like they did to
Cody. To like just beat the crap out of everyone.
Yeah, show up. Like I saw this video of like how Drew should return to WWE by like Murphs, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He's
always good.
He's always good with his predictions, and it's just like, hey, at Night of Champions, have Drew come out and like beat the living fuck out of everyone, and have him come back as a heel. The man is injured. You have to understand. Where the fuck have we seen that?
Where? What?
Where?
No.
Where are you basing this off?
Drew's not injured.
Drew's not injured,
I thought he
man.
was with. I thought he was sick.
Oh, I get. Well,
I
yeah, he
guess if you
was.
count that as an injury,
I mean, I think he was. I don't think.
I think he's sick unless we're confusing
I
him for
mean,
Bray
I don't know,
Wyatt. But it's
I
like
think he
no.
worked.
Well, no, Bray.
Oh no,
hurt-
he worked with a back injury for the longest time. Actually,
Yeah,
he had a
and
back
oh
injury.
no, what's it called? Also, he was working sick. Like
Oh, with a staph infection. No, it wasn't a staph
in the
infection.
build
on
to
WrestleMania?
Mania, like before, like leading up to Mania, he was sick.
He was
And
working with a
Yeah, if
back
you count
injury.
that as an injury, then
Um,
sure. But I don't know, man.
the
It
thing
really
is,
doesn't change anything for
I
me.
I think he's still like working live events or something. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't
but,
know. And he's not advertised for Money in the Bank too, which did drive people to
that
this
is
conclusion.
terrifying. That is
That's
like the main
the
concern.
that's a big like whoa, what the fuck's going on?
That
But
is
if he's
the main problem.
injured, then sure I can see them
If he's
pulling
injured,
event.
fine. But
If he's injured, fine. If Drew is not leaving, that's just facts. I would like to see someone report that. And if you say Ryan, I want to know where that is. But
the thing is, like, the fact that Drew is not advertised. This could be a couple month in advance precaution because they're not sure when.
being like a
Drew,
warning, because remember they said Dean Ambrose is leaving like a couple months before he did.
yeah, but like no, they could also be like, oh, he's injured right now, or he's sick right now. He's not medically capable of working.
Yeah.
So we don't want to like feature him and then come Money in the Bank. He's
Come
not.
Money in the Bank, we pull him, and then everyone is doing
Everyone's
what we're
freaking-
doing now, being like,
No.
"Oh my god!"
We'll just put the people who are like guaranteed to be there.
Yeah,
People like
because it's like
Roman,
if Drew's
Cody,
injured right now,
Cody.
then they probably don't want to,
They don't
advertise
have a
them.
like schedule. I don't know.
I will not believe wrestling reporter about Drew leaving. Me neither. This is all just speculation. But we're just saying if he's not given creative direction, we won't be surprised if Drew leaves. Because
Yeah,
I personally don't want Drew to leave. I don't. I want him to stay in WWE.
Yeah, I don't want him
But
to leave either.
I don't know, man.
But like
So-
the thing is, I think it's just a matter of he's not getting a main event push enough. Like, yeah, he's a main event talent, but he's not being treated as such.
No, he's just
And-
a Scotsman with a sword.
Yeah,
But Dylan, what do you think about this? Because you haven't really spoke on it so much.
I don't think he's leaving.
Okay.
okay.
I don't. I think that. I don't. I really don't think he's leaving. I think more or less, like I did at one point think that, and from how you guys were just speaking about him not being main event, not winning at WrestleMania, not really having those big moments that kind of been squandered and passed over him and everything. I did agree to majority of that with my feeling for a while, but as more and more things have come out about this, there is that injury or sickness that he did suffer from or suffering from with WrestleMania. I think he was wrestling with a bad back at WrestleMania 39, and then I believe he got sick after the fact.
Or at
of
least
WrestleMania
at like
39.
Elimination Chamber or whatever the fuck pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Yeah, like I think he's just been very sickly. I think maybe he's been wrestling with an injury. I think maybe this is just him taking a little time off.
Hopefully.
The
plan put the IC on Sheamus at WrestleMania. Why didn't he do it?
Yeah, no.
that does beg a question. Why didn't that happen then? Why didn't you give Sheamus his Grand Slam? Because that for me would have been a lot more impactful than Gunther winning and of course getting to the honky tonk man, which is an achievement in its own, but at the same time it's like
it's not needed. Like
it's not needed at the
leave that
moment. It
alone.
can be done later on. Drew could have been the one doing that. Sheamus could have been the one doing that. But nonetheless, I do think that he's staying. I think at the moment right now, he is just taking maybe a breather, kind of like how Bray has been injured or sickly or whatever that situation really is
Yeah, and then
going
everyone was
on.
thinking Bray was leaving too. Yeah, it could be a
Yeah.
repeat. Could be a
So,
repeat.
and again, I mean, this is fun to talk about. Not for nothing. A lot of people like to put out a lot of wild shit. And, as us, as reporters, as we are, or just fans of this product,
I'm more
we
of an
do have
opinion
to.
piece guy. I ain't no reporter.
Yeah, I kind of do a little bit of both. But, I more or less, I I don't, I mean, yeah, your points are valid. I'm not saying your points aren't valid, either one of you, Wolf or Willie. But at the same time, if the man has been injured, if the man has been wrestling with an illness, if the man has been injured through all of these two big pay per views, Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania, then okay,
Yeah,
let him take some time off. Give him till maybe SummerSlam. Maybe that's when we see him. Maybe we
ooh,
see him at Survivor Series. It's a long ways
that's a
away,
very
but
long.
it's a back injury. Look at Randy Orton. He had surgery. We might
Yeah,
not
and he's
see
been
him
out for
again.
over a year.
Yeah, and he had a back surgery. So if Drew's injury could be not surgical and him just taking 4, 5, 6 months off to rest and recuperate, maybe they are planning something for him. Maybe come SummerSlam after, Gunther beats the Honky Tonk Man record. Gunther's like, I beat them all. Maybe we get a nice build for Drew. Maybe he comes back as the old Drew from NXT, just whooping ass, taking names, takes down Sheamus, takes down anyone in his path, gets to Gunther, gets to his henchmen. We get SummerSlam, and finally Drew gets that championship. Yeah, he wants the bigger belt, especially in front of a crowd. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the man held it down as champion during 2020, and
In
nobody
that
gives him
pandemic
flowers for
era.
that. Yeah, and nobody really gives him flowers for that. I would love to see him as champion, universal champion, world heavyweight champion. I think that is in the draw for him. I don't really see what Tony would do with him. I don't see what Impact would do. I feel like both promotions would fumble him a lot worse than WWE
Ooh,
and possibly bury him. Maybe Tony can put him on Collision and he faces, Punk and uh, Keith Lee. I don't know who the hell else is going to be on
big meaty
Collision.
men
Maybe
slap
it's
meat.
just Punk. Maybe every Saturday he faces Punk at this point.
Oh my
But,
god.
yeah, but like, that's what I mean, though. Like,
Swerve.
I think him leaving maybe would be a worse decision because where would he really go? He's not going to
Yeah,
go
there's not a lot of good options
AEW.
right now.
He could go to New Japan, but for how long? Like go to AEW and do what? Be a Rampage superstar and only get an hour instead of 3 hours or 2 hours
Yeah,
with the
fair.
possibility of getting a championship opportunity when we can build him to something that could be bigger than what he wants with the WWE. So I don't know. I think that it would I think it'd be smart for Drew to stay. But if he doesn't because of creative decisions or he feels like how we've all been kind of just talking about it, I've been looked over, I've been passed up, my opportunities have been squandered, whether that was due to my health or whatever the creative decision was, or that y'all feel I didn't deserve it, or it was just better off for business, whatever the case may be, then okay, maybe then he leaves. Then it is a creative decision of why he's leaving if he were to leave. But again, we don't know. No one knows exactly. We don't work for
I
the
mean,
WWE. Clearly,
if
I'm
Drew,
literally
I
in the
mean, come
bedroom.
on, if
Uh,
Drew fought every former WWE superstar, that would actually that would produce some good matches, just
hey, go after Edge again. Go after Ray. Go after Carrion. Maybe get a Shinsuke. Maybe get an Austin Theory. Give him against Bronson Reed. Go against Bobby. Give him Sheamus again. Have him tag up with someone.
But like
Maybe
even
go
if
against
he
Imperium.
even if he went to AEW and fought like
Who
just
though?
uh,
Who?
with
Honestly,
Sean
give me
saying he
two
would
people that
face
you
every
think.
former WWE superstar, but that's like
What, Christian
not necessarily
and Jericho?
Jericho, Adam Cole.
Come
Uh,
on. You'd
what's it
rather see
called?
Adam Cole and Drew McIntyre instead of Jericho and Adam Cole? You'd rather see
No, of course
him
not.
versus
But I'm saying
Christian?
like I would. I mean, again, Drew's contract ends in 2024, so it will
Right.
be after like Full Gear after.
Yeah, this would be a
It will
time.
be
This
like
would be a
build
time.
up to like Revolution 2024. It's like
Right.
I mean like
You could
Alistair
put him
or
at Ring of
Malachi
Honor.
versus Drew. Like Punk, even Punk versus Drew would be like decent. Like Claudio versus Drew. Um, what's his name? Uh, Moxley versus Drew. Moxley versus Drew would be crazy. Um, and like and like first like non former WWE guy I like immediately think of that could fight Drew McIntyre would be Hangman. Hangman Adam Page would be an incredible match for Drew McIntyre. Um, but I don't know. Like as I'm saying, like I personally would not be inclined to think Drew leaves. Um, but I'm saying if things do not change and he is not happy with how things are going and they're
That's
not
a
like
reason to
making
leave.
an effort to change that,
Right. That's a reason to leave.
then I would be more inclined to think Drew's probably
Right.
gonna leave.
But if they have something, which I like to you, like to Willie, I hope they do.
I
I
hope they
don't
do too.
want him to leave. I
Yeah,
don't,
I know.
as much as you may say, as much as we may say, yeah, him being on AEW would be maybe exciting. Having a few WWE superstars that he faces would be interesting. Claudio, I do say, would be very interesting. Punk would be okay. Him versus Hangman would be quite interesting. Him against Wardlow would be interesting. Hobbs would be interesting. Keep him up on that heavyweight class. I think, yeah, there are those 3 out of 5 possibility of a top 4 out of 5 matches Drew McIntyre could definitely pull off in AEW. He could go to Ring of Honor as well and do really well in that Ring of Honor circuit to really test the water to see if he's somebody that could be on a Ring of Honor thing, which I believe he's come from. So, that's almost home ground territory for him. And then moving up to the AEW circuit, the bracket of that promotion, and being on a top show possibility of a show like Collision with Punk and everything like that. Personally, I don't want Punk to wrestle. That's my personal opinion. But at the same time, it's just like I feel like with Drew, I think maybe Punk's beneath him. I think Drew's so far ahead of him in many ways that it would be almost like a really low blow to Drew's career where Punk stands currently. If Punk was not who he was now and was still putting on those 5 out of 5 pay-per-views bigger than the Legends when he was working with WWE and stuff, and he decided to go to AEW, okay, totally different conversation now. But now we're at where we're at now, and I don't know, maybe Hobbs would work out. Maybe Wardlow would work out. Maybe Hangman would be very interesting. Maybe him and Wardlow team together and take out FTR and become the AEW tag team. So, it's not like the possibilities aren't there. It's just, I don't know if I would. I can't, I personally can't close my eyes and see it. That's me. That's all.
Well, regarding what you said about if he wasn't like how he is now, I kind of disagree with that sentiment because in my opinion Punk has always been kind of selfish and
To an extent, for
wanting
sure.
to be on top and like yeah, I mean in my opinion that's like who Punk is. I mean we joke about this, but Hunter put it perfectly in that one promo. If Punk's not the top guy, he's not
It's
gonna
the
be.
truth.
Yeah,
It's 100% the truth. I think for Punk where he slipped was the press conference. I think
yeah,
like, you know, yeah, Punk's pipe bomb in WWE definitely rattled some cages. Internally, externally, to the fans, to the wrestling community. A lot of people opened their eyes to the wrestling business at the time, WWE, a lot wider than they were previously. You know, Punk being who he is, yeah, being upset with the fact that he's injured and concussed and he's still wrestling, willing to drop the belt to a part timer, being disgruntled about that, um, putting on 5-star matches over legends like Cena and Rock with someone of the Undertaker status. You know, them calling that the best match of the night should have been a main event. You know, to
yeah.
me, yeah, Punk's legacy was at the top of the board. But when it came down to,
My bad, y'all. What did I miss?
we're just
Now
talking
we're
about
talking
Punk.
about Punk.
Punk? Oh, of course.
Yeah, but to me, like, and I don't disagree with your point at all, Wolf. I don't.
Yeah,
But to me, like, where Punk became a lot more me to now the public eye was that press conference and the Instagram tweet and the Twitter and now having Moxley go on a podcast and having to even just talk about it, having Jericho talk about it. Like, it's one thing when it was the WWE and Vince was on the Broken Skull talking about how it wasn't supposed to be the night that he was getting married, where he was going to be fired. I'm not there. I don't know anything about that. I'm
yeah.
just someone looking in. But, you know, yeah, it's kind of funny. It is. I'm not going to lie to you. It is kind of
One thing
funny.
I'm confused about, and I'm gonna say this about Punk, is I'm so confused on why they're deciding to bring him back for
Because
a
he's money.
collision. For
He's
for
money.
it,
Money.
he's money, yeah, and
He's
that's the
money.
only thing.
That's the
Because
only reason.
Tony Khan only sees dollar signs. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I've said this in multiple videos in the past. Um, try saying that to your boss. Like, be like, all my coworkers fucking suck. I'm sick of working for this fucking company. The boss is a piece of shit.
Yep.
You know, um,
On live television.
on live, and imagine doing that on live television with your boss sitting right fucking next to you,
Yeah,
doing
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
yeah. And
But that
Tony.
also but that also shows the character of Tony.
Yeah,
See,
it
you
shows the
kind of
character of
got to
Tony
blame
Khan.
the both of them. For this, I feel like you got to blame the both of them because Tony could have just been like, "We're done here, Punk. I need to see you," and ended that press conference immediately.
As soon as
But
he
he didn't.
mentioned Colt Cabana, I would have gotten the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I would have grabbed his microphone. But at that point, I think, um, you know,
Yeah, he's soft.
well,
He
yeah,
sees
Yeah,
he sees all his
he's
employees
naive.
as a friend.
Tony Khan is a wrestling fan slash business owner.
Yeah.
He is not a business owner slash wrestling fan. And him being in a business setting to promote his company where somebody like Punk, who he's known has had this happen already on live TV where Vince and everybody in Gorilla had to shut his fucking microphone off on Raw.
Yeah, where do they not see this coming? One of the most famous promos of all time was literally a
Then,
CM Punk shoot.
then now goes to a press conference
Yeah.
and it's just like, any questions? Yeah, we got like 40. What the hell just happened? Was that a shoot? Was that something you feel truthfully? Like,
Yeah,
are we
no.
in the Twilight
Tony loves
Zone,
money
man?
like Vince. They
The
both
thing
are the
is,
same. They would
yeah,
fuck for money.
the thing
Holy fuck.
is, Tony knows that Punk is money and ratings, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
also kind of a nice guy. Like, he always wants like
Tony is
everyone
so
to be
nice.
happy. He wants everyone to be happy. It kind of makes him naive.
Kind of. Like, buddy.
Kind of. Also, NXT Live update. Tiffany Stratton beats Gigi Dolan.
Oh shit, yeah, we managed to pull this up until like NXT because, late, but I think that's enough Punk talk for one day.
Yeah.
I feel.
So
Next topic is obviously this has to do with Backlash. First off, Carlito's return at Backlash was an absolute, banger. I think we said this on Monday. I think it's way more numbers, but as of Monday,
obviously,
Carlito's return had over 8 million views. It has to be somewhere above 10 now.
2 million in under 12 hours.
In under 12 hours since his return. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
And another part of this segment is Bad Bunny impressing the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny is a fucking natural in the ring. And also, apparently, I've been seeing tweets of this before we went live. Now, WWE is seeing Damian Priest as a main event level talent after his performance.
Deserved. It's incredible. It is just wow, that it was just like way too incredible. Like, there is like everything, just Carlito coming back kind of made sense given the area, but it was, no one expected that. And
Yeah.
now, what's it called? Yeah. So like no one expected Carlito coming back. And then Bad Bunny, now like everyone in WWE like loved the performance of Bad Bunny. Apparently even Vince texted Bad Bunny like praising him.
He was quoting the song. He didn't know what he was saying, but he was quoting the song, probably with excitement.
But what's it called? It's incredible. And now WWE is hoping to get
Australia.
Bad Bunny for SummerSlam.
I hope so. I hope they get Bad Bunny.
I feel like you have to have him fight Logan Paul, but
yeah, they're probably doing Logan versus Cena, which I think is fucking stupid.
No, Logan versus Cena also works because it was like a potential matchup for Mania, but
yeah, and then they figured we'll have Logan versus Seth. Yeah. But I think this whole Damian is now being seen as a main event talent. It reminds me of Sami Zayn because if you remember, he faced Johnny Knoxville last year at WrestleMania, and people are like, "Oh my God, Sammy's buried. Sammy, is never going to recover from this." Immediately after facing Johnny Knoxville, Sammy becomes who we are now.
Yeah.
Like, who we know now. This is pretty much like what Damian's doing now with Bad Bunny. He has a good celebrity match that everybody likes, and now we're going to propel the guy who's here every week. They need to start doing that more.
Think like 1 year ago, if we want to compare it to Sammy, 1 year ago, Damien was a talent that was attempted to be elevated through being kind of a stooge in an edgy faction called the Judgment Day, uh, where he was kind of like Edge's sidekick. Um, and now he's having a potential match of the year with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
that is crazy how they like what's it called? Just end up
Believe in your guys.
yeah. How they just end up like changing like throughout 1 year.
Yeah, no, it's crazy how much a year changes.
Uh,
Also, um, this past Monday night on Raw, apparently we had the Way come back
yep.
in
Yep.
a backstage segment, and I've seen tweets of this all day. People are like, Johnny Gargano says he is coming back soon,
He does
hinting
not
at
know D-Way.
hinting at Ciampa coming back to
Uh,
WWE.
yeah, I mean it makes sense. Uh, DIY coming back like Johnny did say before that he like they want to do stuff with DIY.
On Raw, yeah, no, that would definitely be
Yeah.
sick.
So and I think we're not gonna get like Ms. Fanboy Champa. No, no, no. We are getting Blackheart Tommaso Ciampa.
Bring back No One Will Survive, or at least do a
Yes.
remix of it. That theme is
Yes.
so good.
Please.
God, I've been listening to that on repeat, and oh my god, it shows how much I miss that fucking theme.
Yeah, I need so like yeah, I think Champa I feel like there's gonna be like probably maybe a big like feud that like sort of like something with Johnny involving Johnny because like it's kind of weird in that reunion there seemed to be like some sort of like not hesitation but like weird like thing from Candace. Like Candace wasn't convinced, and I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that like Champa and Dexter don't have the best history together.
No, I think on NXT they had a bit of a rivalry, or at least a
Yeah,
match.
yeah. So like I don't know if maybe it's gonna need like a big feud. I don't even know like who would the way even like fight.
Who the Way would even fight? Like, unless like Johnny and Miz reignite that rivalry, and then they have Champa be like, "You must choose who you side with," and then Champa ultimately picks DIY.
Yeah.
So
Um.
I don't know, but
But like
if DIY comes back in the main roster, obviously you got to
um,
manifest them being tag team champions.
Yeah.
yeah. So like, and even if like DIY and the way kind of mixed together, I think that would be cool.
I think that'd be cool because remember when Theory was in the Way back in NXT and they had those little fun like family segments? That'd be
Yeah,
sick to have Champa and the Miz, Champa and Dexter Loomis both there, being like,
yeah,
"What the fuck is this? I don't want to be here."
and I mean Dexter when he became part of the way, like when he got into Index with Indy, uh, I mean, hey, before Dexter did end up doing stuff to like Theory, Johnny, Candace, and then
Fucking
Indy came.
kidnapping people. Yeah.
Then kid, yeah, we had Index happen. Um, so like the only like thing I could see like the way like being involved in like that could like be understandable that like kind of I can see how you play that off is
Yeah.
um like if they want to put another stable then like the only things that are open are Judgment Day and Viking Raiders.
Yeah, I don't see the way feuding with the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, like I don't
Definitely
see
not.
Candace or Indy fighting Valhalla.
Valhalla is here.
Yeah,
Uh, no, I don't see that happening.
yeah.
But
So
Dylan, how would you feel about a possible DIY reunion?
I'm cool with it. I am. I think that at this stage of the game, there is that possibility for Theory to even be rejoined into the way if he does lose the United States Championship
They
in
just
the
trade
near
him over to
future.
Raw.
Yeah, I think maybe he might act for it in some sense of the matter, or maybe they start coming over to SmackDown to an extent.
I don't want him to do that because then the brand
There's
split
no
would be
point in the brand split.
dead.
I
Yeah, no
know.
point in the
yeah.
I
fucking
know.
brand split.
I'll be right back. I need to.
All right,
Okay.
but
But yeah,
yeah,
no, I think that there is that possibility. But between Tommaso and Dexter, I think maybe a nice little let's get this out of the way so we could really form a nice faction and lead Raw into the next generation would be something I would like to see. We don't really see much of Dexter doing anything.
yeah.
Showing up in weird spots and scaring the shit out of the Miz is always great to see. Him and Indy reuniting at that NXT Stand and Deliver.
Yeah,
Was very touching, and how their relationship has grown since Dexter left a year or two prior, and Indy had to stay back and grow to be the champion that she became. So yeah, again, I think that maybe they're definitely reforming back for sure, but it's just a matter of when and if Tommaso does come back, which I do hope, and does get reunited with Johnny, Candice, and Indy. Do we figure out a way to hash out the Dexter and Tommaso feud, or do they just shake hands, bury it, and move to the bigger and better goal, which is dominating Raw as a huge faction against Judgment Day, against someone of that caliber, and going, of course, for titles and women's championships and so on and so forth.
I wouldn't be surprised if they bury the hatchet. I really wouldn't,
I wouldn't be either.
because I don't think people would really want to see Tommaso Ciampa versus Dexter Loomis. I wouldn't mind it, but I just think most of the casual
But what
audience
for?
would be like, what the fuck? You
Yeah,
know, like, oh, this is pointless. You could just fucking like shake hands and all that. It's been long enough since Black and Gold and whatever. And they just
exactly.
become a super faction.
Yeah.
I can definitely see Indy and Candice challenging for the women's tag
Yep.
sooner rather than later, especially now that the women's tag titles are kind of started to get some focus back ever since Liv and Raquel have won it, thank God.
My
Um,
girls.
yeah, no, I mean, what, they got Damage Control on Friday and they got Chelsea and Sonya Monday. So,
Yep.
I mean, good for you. Um, and Ronda and Shayna someday, but yeah, no. So what's really left is what we've been talking about for the past month, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, we had our tournament last where Seth Rollins and Finn Balor won their respective triple threat matches, and Rollins ended up becoming the Raw finalist.
Wow.
And now, News is officially shutting down after 36 years. Holy fuck!
Damn,
But
I'm fucking old.
you are old. Fuck,
Oh
36 years.
my god, I'm old.
Not MTV. Well, maybe it's just the news channel. Yeah, because I want to know that Nick Cannon's having a 17th kid. But
We need to know.
yeah, we totally need to know. Not like TMZ exists, but TMZ's cancer anyways, too. Um fucking say. Oh, and
World heavyweight.
SmackDown, we're gonna continue the tournament. We're having AJ, Edge, and Ray in one match, and
Mhm.
we have Theory, Bobby, Sheamus in another. So my question is obviously, who 2 triple threats, and who becomes the SmackDown finalist to face Seth.
AJ and Edge are on the same.
Yeah, they're on the same triple threat.
No, on the same match.
Yeah, same match.
Okay. So it's Ray, AJ, Edge.
Versus, and then the other one is Theory, Bobby, Sheamus.
Okay.
AJ is a SmackDown finalist.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Sean. I think there's only two real answers here. It's either AJ or Bobby.
For who becomes the SmackDown finalist?
Who
or
goes
the...
against Seth?
Yeah. Well, I could see Edge too. Yeah.
Edge, yeah, but I mean, he's already done it.
I think it would be sick to have Edge have Rollins beat the greatest world heavyweight champion of all time to sort of pass the torch to that. I mean, it's
if that's
possible.
the angle, then okay. That I could sit with that.
It's just
I could sit with that.
Hey, you reigned as world heavyweight champion for like X, Y, and Z amount of times.
Yeah, he had to give it up because of the neck injury.
Yeah, and you had to give it up for the neck injury. So technically, it's Edge losing the opportunity.
Belt,
yeah. And then it's a passing the torch for Rollins because
because then AJ could go after Roman.
AJ can easily go after
What do we do
Roman.
with Bobby? What do we do with Bobby? Do we just give him another US?
Yeah.
Do we just give him another US title picture?
Well, no, isn't it supposed to be like? Isn't like Karrion supposed to be at Money in the Bank? Bobby's like Night of Champions, and AJ is SummerSlam, or it's one of those orders. It's Karrion, Bobby, and AJ for Roman in like 3 straight pay-per-views. I know that. But or you could have Bobby face Roman at Night of Champions.
But how does that happen? With 2 weeks to go, tell me how that happens.
Bobby's like, hey, Friday,
buddy. Hey, Roman.
Hey, buddy. You beat all these motherfuckers. You haven't beaten me. Extreme Rules 2019, 2018, motherfucker. I beat you clean. I'll do it again. Like that. Because people do challenges like that.
No, I know. Hey, Night of Champions is just a money grab pay-per-view.
It's a money grab pay-per-view. It doesn't have to make sense. Be like, hey,
it doesn't, yeah.
Bobby and Roman, do it. Book it. Book that shit. Theory versus Roman, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, maybe it is Edge and Seth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I can see that. Because AJ just
AJ versus Roman at Night of Champions. Yeah.
AJ just came back. Give him maybe AJ SummerSlam, Money in the Bank is Karrion.
Night of Champions is Bobby.
Night of Champions is Bobby. Let Edge lose to Seth at the finals.
Yeah. Edge becomes a SmackDown finalist. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm all right with it. I mean, yeah, I just feel like Bobby deserves more, for Christ's sake.
Because Edge really only returns for pay-per-views at this point.
Yeah, he's on a part-time schedule.
Yeah.
He's not doing,
They're not going to have him lose a simple triple threat match on free TV.
Yeah. No, I get you.
They're not going to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I
makes sense. Edge. Yeah, Edge versus Seth, finals Friday night. Seth wins, beating the ex-champion, technically, that was still holding the World Heavyweight Championship when he retired. So
now it's kind of like hey, I beat you.
Yeah, I'm passing the torch. You deserve it. Go get him. And then that's at Night of Champions, though. Edge versus Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Edge versus Seth, Night of Champions.
I could sit with that. It's not a bad match.
No.
It's not a bad match. It's just, again, I feel bad for Bobby. Bobby's had so many opportunities for Christ's sake. Like,
Yeah, for the U.S.
even had a
title, it's
great
just like,
feud.
yeah, it's sad.
He even had a great feud with Bronson Reed where we didn't even really get to see them fight each other. He was supposed to face Bray, but that never happened. Then he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. He had the triple threat at Backlash. He got screwed out of that. He got screwed on a TV title match against Austin by Bronson. We never seen these two big beefy men fight each other. Yeah, okay, Edge. I'll go Edge Seth. Because
Yeah,
AJ, SummerSlam makes more sense.
it's a
Money
big
in the Bank,
stage.
carrying, yeah. And AJ will have enough time now where he's been back. He's been on TV. He's
Yeah, because
had matches.
if he goes straight for Roman, people are gonna be like, well, that's too quick since his return.
It's too quick. Yeah, he's
And they
already
would
starting to hit that
want to build up a
age.
feud, especially Bloodline versus OC and
Right,
all
right,
that.
I am
exactly.
back. Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Forgot to wear.
but well,
What did I miss?
what you missed was essentially just who do you think will win the two triple threat matches on Friday to face Seth?
Yeah, exactly. He never lost the championship either.
Oh, okay. So triple threat matches.
We're saying Edge, Seth, Night of Champions.
Edge and Seth, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Edge, Bobby. Edge wins. And then Seth and Edge at Night of Champions.
Where Seth would obviously win.
Yeah. Although I would not be upset if Edge.
What if
somehow-
Austin versus Edge? What if they give Austin that much of a push?
I don't want to
He
see
beats
it.
Bobby again.
Vince.
He beats Sheamus now. Sheamus takes the pin, making Bobby look strong.
As long as Edge beats Theory and Edge still goes to Night of Champions, I don't care.
Right. No, that's fine. But I'm just saying, though, like,
If Austin wins that,
semifinals.
Imagine we get swerved and Sheamus ends up winning that triple threat.
I wouldn't complain either.
Edge versus Sheamus would be cool, actually.
Didn't we get that before, like years ago? I swear we might have.
Edge
Oh no, I
versus-
think Edge retired when Sheamus was really popping off back in the day. But
no, that we didn't get them 1-on-1. I think.
I think they were in a chamber together or like a rumble.
I mean, there is that possibility.
No,
It could
they
be
were in a
Austin and
fatal
Edge.
4-way with Cena and Orton.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Obviously, my pick to be the first ever World Heavyweight Champion has got to be Seth Rollins at this point.
Yeah.
Because if a SmackDown wrestler wins, like, well, you got to trade him, and I don't see WWE doing that.
No, not after this draft.
No. So I think, like I said in my previous video, they only put SmackDown wrestlers in this tournament to have more main event level guys fight for this belt.
Right.
I mean, if they gave it to Edge, and like Edge
could get away with it because he's a part timer. He could go wherever he wants.
Yeah, and like Edge, and they could give him like a decent brief reign. Maybe wishful thinking, but maybe he goes on as world heavyweight champion until potentially his retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they can like retire him, like either losing the belt or he wins, but like he retires as world heavyweight champion on his own terms.
He retires as world heavyweight champion on his own terms, whereas a couple years ago he retired as world heavyweight champion not on his own terms.
Yeah.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, I don't want to lose the belt, so I'm retiring. But yeah, no, definitely. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna have to conclude the Unscripted podcast for this week. Thank you so much for everyone stating your opinions and all of you passionate motherfuckers out there. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune in tomorrow because we got a stacked AEW Dynamite card that we will be reacting to live here on this channel. We also got SmackDown, of course, Friday, and yeah, no, don't go anywhere because the grind never stops. Be sure to check out the old content, and be sure to tune into that beautiful MJF entrance that Dylan did a week or two ago on the AEW watch along because YouTube. But
Took
yeah,
away
no,
200 of my views. That son
they
of a
took
bitch.
away those 200 views and it pisses me off.
Another
Get them
NXT
back up.
Live update. Gallus retained their titles. Tony, D'Angelo, and Stacks are looking from above.
Yeah, because they're hinting at going for the belts after killing Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
So I can understand why D'Angelo and Sachs want that.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
god, and now I'm looking at the wrestling match bot Twitter and they put McIntyre and Okada. Of course they did.
oh, of course they did. Yeah, that's perfect timing when we're thinking of Drew leaving. But ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and turn those post notifications on. Be sure to check out the Last Week in Wrestling podcast on YouTube as well. Check out Dataway Show, which I did an awesome SmackDown review in 2016 with. And yeah, be sure to turn post notifications on and follow us on all social medias. And don't forget May 20th as well, the big Q&A podcast on Pro Wrestle News. The Pro Wrestle News podcast premieres. So yeah, no, be sure to tune in. I have been Willie Does Wrestling. That has been the number one MJF stand Last Week in Wrestling. And that has been the ever so passionate Wolf Harris. And we will see you in the next video. Be good, people.